mythology, gods, and monsters.
Norwegian.
Yeah, so Viking stuff. So we're going to have to
cool.
get into that, aren't we? Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dolan.
Not nearly as excited this week, but let's see.
Well, we'll see.
Let's see how this goes.
I'm pumped. I can't wait.
This seems way up more your alley than maybe it would be mine.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to do my best to pronounce this. Utepils. Utepils. Utepils Brewing.
Yeah, in my notes, in my brain, as I was writing, and I just, in my brain said Utepils, but I know that's not right.
Well, that's how it looks. Utepils. But it's, Utepils. Norwegian word that literally translates to outdoor lager. Ute meaning out, outside, outdoors, and pils meaning lager.
See, I had a different definition.
Oh.
Mine was a Norwegian word for the feeling that you get of longing and anticipation for the first beer enjoyed in the sunshine.
I mean...
So like your first spring beer?
Well, you missed it. The bubbles on there kind of dropped, kind of like a...
Like a nitro?
Oh, it kind of cascaded a little bit?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, watch this. See if it does it for Brian.
It does kind of cascade a little bit. Look at that.
Pour it hard, like Rich does.
Yeah. So they're located at 225 Thomas Avenue North, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Open Monday through Thursday, 3 to 10, Friday, noon to 10, Saturday, 11 to 10, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
That's a lot of hours.
That's some pretty solid hours right there.
11 a.m.
Yeah. You got to get started early.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Jim Frederick, brought this to me. We are in the same nerd club together.
Oh, nice.
And
Nerd club.
I say that with it's a term of endearment.
Of course.
We all enjoy Star Wars, and so he's in the same club with us. So thanks to Jim for this one.
Well, I wrote down a couple things about their tap room. Just some of the activities that they have there that were a little different. Everybody knows most breweries do trivia, and they're no exception.
Absolutely.
But they do have a cribbage night.
I saw that too.
And I think that's a Midwestern. Mm-hmm. I don't know if maybe that's a game that everybody plays, but
My grandpa sure played it.
I know a lot of farmers and like people around here, that's a game that you know about. Mm-hmm. And they do a thing called Finite Friday.
Okay.
Which they make 1 gallon of a beer. One gallon. That's it.
That's not very much.
No. That's like gone, like in an hour, I would guess, at a brewery. And it changes every week. So whatever somebody wants to do, they make 1 gallon of it.
So they have a little just like test system or whatever,
Probably.
and they're just running it through that the smaller one.
And the day I did this research, the Friday it was supposed to be a mojito seltzer, is what they made 1 gallon of, which would probably be pretty tasty.
That would be really good.
They have their flights like most places will do. You know how either they'll have maybe like a laser cut metal tray. I think Cross Train has those. Mm-hmm. Or out by Kincaid out west, they have one made out of wood, like cedar wood, like real fancy. A lot of places will do something that's a little fun with those. Mm-hmm. And this place is shaped like a ski.
Oh.
So, because of the Minnesota winters, right?
You can ski there?
Well, in Minnesota, more like probably cross-country skiing, I would guess. Mm-hmm. But also there's just so much snow that you need skis to get around.
Okay.
On tap at this place, Muni, M-U-N-I, Franconian Land Beer, an unfiltered dark lager.
That's got to be an old name. I mean, that's got to be, or the where the recipe came from.
I mean, Franconian is a time frame,
right? And
Land Beer spelled B-I-E-R.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of place we're going to here today.
Yeah.
Broom Stacker.
Okay.
Which is a red lager.
Oh.
Happy Dog Lager, which is light-bodied with hint of maple.
Yum.
Smokey the Bear, which is a lightly smoked lager, and then Tall Tales IPA. It's a West Coast.
Oh.
6.8%, 76 IBUs. One of the best things about fishing is the stories.
Yeah.
And your fish usually get bigger,
Yup.
and that's Tall Tales.
Every
IPA.
time.
Yep.
Take a second and take a drink of this beer.
All right.
This is just the maltiest, sweetest deliciousness, I think.
It's like taking us to Oktoberfest days.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the beer's called Minnator, but it's a Dopplebock. So a double bock,
Yeah.
right? God, it's good. Man, it's good.
That
it's
is good.
So it's a brownish. It looks like a brown ale. Maybe
Kinda,
a little
yeah.
bit darker than a brown ale. Yeah, it's just there's some sweetness on the front.
Yeah.
The maltiness comes through on the back end. Man, it's good.
I would take a big old stein of this.
What's the Dolan? What's the ABV on this? Do you,
On this one?
yeah, does it say it on
Might be a
the
7.8.
Oh, wow. Okay. No wonder it's so good.
You could have a big stein of it.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
This, since we're in Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically,
Yep.
they are one of those states that gets to do those special drinks. And this place is no exception. And their brand is called Bandwagon. And they're like, yeah, we jumped on the bandwagon.
All right.
We own it. And now here's what you can have.
Okay.
Key lime is their THC sparkling water.
No way.
It's key lime. 4 milligrams of THC in a 16-ounce can, so it's pint cans.
Yeah.
No limits on the sale, so you can buy as many as you want there at the brewery. And they say to store and serve them cold, so you don't want them just sitting out on the shelf.
I don't know. I guess I'm just beer is my thing, right? And I go to Colorado all the time. It's all over the place there, right? Or whatever. I have heard beer is my thing, not this, right? I have heard it's like a good beer buzz, but then with beer you get kind of full, right?
Yeah.
And so you do this instead of that, so you don't get full.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
So I guess it doesn't make sense to me why you would want to put it in a beer or in a alcoholic drink or a drink that has alcohol in it, right? That
Maybe this is why, because this place has a ton of food trucks.
Nailed
so
it.
they have one that was called KCM egg rolls.
Yum.
Different kinds all the time.
That sounds good.
Oh boy, that's a word I wrote down. Emcanada. EMCONADA. I didn't write anything else on that.
Empanada?
Nope, was not empanada.
Emcanada.
Emcanada. Something called Market Barbecue. Gerhardt's Brats, which looked amazing. I clicked in there and looked at all their
A very
their
German
wares.
style brewery with a brat food truck.
And then one that was just called Peppers and Fries A Go-Go.
Okay.
It looked kind of like poutine almost,
Okay.
but it was like on a griddle, so maybe chopped up peppers and french fries and kind of stirred together, and they had some other stuff too. Viper membership.
Okay.
This is something this place offers. So it's talking like a beer club, right? We've talked about those many times, many
the
places.
Viper.
Theirs is the Viper. Here's the difference with theirs. It's a lifetime.
Oh.
So it's a one-time purchase,
Okay.
and you're good for your life.
How much?
That's a good question.
Okay.
It's $1,000.
Whoa. Well, I would have guessed like 1,200 probably.
So it's $1,000.
Okay.
But some of the ones we've talked about, I think maybe a couple weeks ago, it was like $600 for 1 year.
Right.
All right. So we're talking $1,000. Or if you're a couple, it's $1,900. You get a discount.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Here's what
Okay.
you get. Every time you go in, your first beer is free.
Perfect.
Every time.
Every time.
Every month you get a free growler fill. So
Okay.
that's a gallon, 64 ounces. You get your own VIP Stein.
Okay.
Keep there. You get a $100 gift card towards merchandise at their brewery.
One time.
Yep.
Okay.
So here's your 100 free bucks to get whatever you want from us.
Yep.
You get your name in the tap room.
Oh.
It's like up on a sign.
Yeah.
Kind of like an old Chicago plaque sort of
Yes.
deal. Or did you ever go to Flying Saucer? You ever been to one of those?
No.
So it's kind of like a chain. I went to one in Memphis. They had one in Kansas City for a while. It was very similar to the old Chicago beer thing. So if you went there enough, you could get your points or whatever.
Yep.
And you get these levels, and you get your name or whatever you want to decorate on a plate, and they would stick it on the ceiling. It was a saucer.
On the ceiling.
On the ceiling, the wall, wherever there was room.
Yep.
And you could just keep going and going and going. So
Okay.
it was, every one was different because people would hand paint whatever they wanted to put on their thing.
Yeah.
And then they would attach it to you, and it would always be there. So
Kind
it's
of like when
cool.
your kids would like color the thing and then they would stick it on the wall or
Very
whatever.
similar to
Very
that.
similar. Okay.
They have beer trips. They're like, hey, we're going to Germany this year.
Oh.
You can come. You get your first choice to go on these beer trips that they do.
Whoa.
Like an Infusion does those
Okay.
here in Omaha. They do like history of beer trips, and they'll go to like Belgium for a week.
Wow.
Or stuff like that. And then you first want to get limited edition beers. So like the brand new things coming out, you're first up if you want to. You have like, buyer's choice if you want to get stuff. So it sounded like, a pretty good deal. Just if it was your neighborhood spot and every time you went, you got a free beer, the very first beer.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Why wouldn't you do that?
And $100 worth of gear.
Yep. And all the other, you get your name up there if you like that sort of thing, and your Stein. And like if this was my neighborhood brewery, if this was Pint 9, which is the closest to my house, I'm in. I would do it.
If Crosstrain did it, I would do it.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
Yeah, for lifetime.
Lifetime, though.
Going there probably takes your lifetime expectancy down a little bit. Or maybe it pumps it up. I
don't know.
It's the social.
I've seen those those stats before. Like every beer you drink takes 6 minutes off your life or whatever. If that's true, I would have died like 100 years ago or something.
Negative. I'd be a baby right now over here in a diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
So what do we think about this now? Second, it's warmed up a little.
I'm really enjoying it.
I am too.
I'm sad there's only one. And quite honestly, I don't know if Jim went to the brewery himself, or I'll have to ask. I'll text him later and I'll have to ask him. If he tried any of the other beers that they had.
Yeah,
there.
It's caramely almost. Yeah, it's really good.
I like that their tail is a hop.
I didn't even
on the
notice
Minnator.
that. Oh, look at that. That's funny.
It says, a beastly brew crafted in the Dopplebock tradition. This style, described to some as liquid bread, that's true,
Yep.
comes packed with toasty malt flavor and hints of baked biscuits.
Yeah.
Strong and bold as the hardy folk of the North, which, we've talked about that.
Minnesota.
This beer is guaranteed to satisfy you like a warm, hot dish on a cold Minnesota night.
Yep. That's 100% true.
Utepils.
Utepils.
It does have the spelling, the phonetic spelling on here.
Yeah. So much like you, I checked out their website.
Okay.
And I noticed something. They celebrate Rex Manning Day there at the brewery.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought, you know what? Because I struggled a little bit. Because we've done Doppelbocks, we've done traditional beers like this. They didn't have a ton of stuff about their website, or on their website, or about them.
Nope.
So I thought, well, what am I going to do? And then I saw that they celebrate
Manning Day.
Rex Manning Day. So let's talk about Rex Manning Day.
Yeah.
Where it came from. Dolan, are you familiar with Rex Manning Day?
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
Comes from Empire Records, a movie from 1995.
Had a great soundtrack.
Amazing soundtrack.
Yeah. Was Liv Tyler, right?
Liv Tyler, Renee Zellweger, Robin Tunney, Anthony LaPaglia, a number of very famous actors. Famous at the time. They got even more famous, obviously, after that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this was probably one of Liv Tyler's first
I would think so.
movies.
Was right after like the Aerosmith videos.
Yep.
Kind of started popping.
Yep.
The movie was called what?
Empire
Records.
Empire Records.
Yep.
Here's the official description. 24 hours in the lives of the young employees at Empire Records when they all grow up and become young adults thanks to each other and their manager.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, that's what happened. There's so much more that happens in it.
It's kind of like working at a record store, but not necessarily a record store, more like a Tower Records or like
Yes.
a Sam Goody, like that sort of place.
Well, then what you find out later is that the guy that owns it is going to sell to a big like Empire, like Tower Records kind of place.
like a big conglomerate.
Yeah.
or whatever. The bad guy.
Very sad that it's going to change or whatever. But it takes place on Rex Manning Day. So Rex Manning is going to come to the record store and do like a signing. And they were watching their videos and everything. They even went as far as to produce a video for Rex Manning's song, Say No More, Mon Amour.
Well, say no more, baby, I'll be running every way. Say no more no more. I'll bring my loving right to your front door. Here I come, baby,
My goodness, it is horrible. It's so horrible.
No, it's not good.
It's, Rex Manning was played by Maxwell Caulfield, who was also in such bangers as Grease 2.
Oh, yeah. That was with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Electric Dreams.
Nope. Missed that one.
Look this one up. This is he has a computer for the first time. So it came out in the early 80s.
Okay.
He gets a computer for the first time,
Yeah.
and he knocks over a beverage.
Oh, boy.
And then the computer takes over his house
Okay.
and then tries to kill him.
Oh, so it's like AI.
Electric Dreams. But there was a really great little like title song to go along with it. Enough so that my dad bought the record
Wow.
back in the day. Yeah.
Electric Dreams.
Electric Dreams. Let's see, what else was he in? Gettysburg. He was in
Oh,
Gettysburg.
that was good.
And The Man Who Knew Too Little.
That is a Steve Martin movie,
Yes,
isn't
it
it?
was. Yep.
Look at me. I didn't even grow up in the movie theater.
Okay, so he's also on TV shows like Murder, She Wrote.
You're talking my language.
Right? Dynasty. My mom watched
Yep.
that. Beverly Hills 90210 and The Rockford Files.
Rockford Files, so good.
Yeah. That's what was the name? Oh my gosh, the band that gosh, I can't. It'll come to me. You
Okay.
think, the lyric is, "You think Rockford Files is cool."
Ben Folds.
Ben Folds. There you go. Thank you. So the song "Say No More, Mon Amour" had a full-length video directed by Jordan Dawes. Rex Manning came to Empire Records to resurrect his career. He was a has-been.
Okay.
To resurrect his career. Jokes on him. It didn't work out for him at
No.
all like that. It actually backfired. Him and Renee Zellweger do some business in the back, and that totally backfires on him and them.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
God, that's a good movie.
It was such. God, it was just a great film, which is funny because that we celebrate Rex Manning Day because he was such a jerk on the show. But then we still celebrate.
Yeah, we give
Rex
him his
Manning
own day, and he was
Yeah.
a piece of trash.
Yep. Last little bit from Rex Manning Day or Empire Records. Special guest appearance by the band Gwar.
Gwar.
Do you remember the dude that gets caught shoplifting? I think it's the dude that gets caught shoplifting. They put him on the couch in the back until the cops come.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And then he ends up eating some brownies that had some special stuff in it.
Yep.
Right? And then the band starts talking to him through the TV. You love Gwar.
Yep.
That
was it.
It was the actual band appeared in the little TV that he was watching.
Was that so I was just looking at it to see if I remembered watching it or whatever, because in the same way that I'm bad with song names, band names, I'm bad with movie titles. So I looked at it, and I've never seen it before, but I saw that Tobey Maguire was in it.
He was.
Yeah.
Very brief, but
Interesting.
yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah. You should probably watch it. It's an interesting look into kind of the like record store culture of that time, of the early 90s.
Yeah.
Because every one of us, we all went to one. We all
I worked at one.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we would go to one in Lawrence that was right downtown. And sadly, it's like a coffee bar now.
Yeah.
But it was right downtown. That's where I met the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, I've told that story.
Yep.
Like, they gave me a free CD while I was there. Like, we went there all the time. Mm-hmm. I could tell you, I could have worked there, quite honestly.
I worked at the one I worked at was at the mall, and I would very often tell the people to go to the Best Buy down the street. 'Cause I was like, you do not need this $17.99 CD for one song. You know, OMC How Bizarre or whatever that was song in
gosh,
1999.
How bizarre.
Yeah, you don't need to buy $18 here. Go buy the CD single
Yes.
at the Best Buy for $2.50. That'd be a better
Much better
purchase.
deal. For one Christmas, I part-timed at a music land.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, just cashier. It was not nearly as much fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
No.
It'd be hard to work at a place like that if you've already seen like High Fidelity or something, and then you go work there. Because otherwise, basically, you're working like at a Target.
Yeah, it was pretty much it. Yeah. It wasn't even fun retail. It was just like ringing people up as they bought the new Redman album. It was
Yeah.
stupid.
I remember from my days, the big one was Hello Nasty. That was, and then the Bare Naked Ladies,
Yes.
whatever their huge album was. Those were the big sellers the year I was there. I took my inspiration, kind of like you.
Okay.
It was hard to find some stuff. There wasn't a whole lot of information
No.
out there. But one of their beer names tricked my brain, and it said, hey, let's look into this.
Okay.
We're going to learn about Smokey the Bear.
Oh, the
Okay.
smoked beer.
Uh-huh. So, in 1942, we're in the middle of war, World War II.
Right.
Japan is coming over here, and they're getting close to California. Mm-hmm. And they just destroyed a huge oil field in Santa Barbara, California.
Okay.
Shot at it, blew it up.
Yeah.
Big fire. They're trying to distract our attention from where the United States military was at the time.
Right.
Say, hey, well, we're going to bring it to your doorstep on the West Coast.
Yep.
And then maybe we can do some of our own, maneuvering.
Yeah.
So the government says, well, we don't like that either. And we start making propaganda stuff, like as they did back in the day. Mm-hmm. And because of how they destroyed this oil field, it also made a huge fire, and the trees and the forest burned down.
Of course.
And so the military, the army, says, well, let's do something about it. And they make a sign that says, another enemy to conquer, forest fires.
Oh.
And they were kind of friendly with Mr. Walt Disney.
Okay.
And Walt Disney said, you know what? We're in wartime. I'm going to give you anything you need. You want to use my characters? Go for it. So they stick Bambi in this ad. Forest fire. You guys remember
I
in
think
Bambi?
I remember this.
There was a fire, and that's what kind of pushed out the animals.
Yeah.
And they drew tons and tons and tons of images, cartoons. They did, we learned this, he and I, Oscar, watched a documentary recently on Disney about this sort of the time frame. They made like manuals, like how to load your M16 gun, how to clean out a cannon. It was all hand drawn by the animators at Disney, and they made them into films, like training manuals. So for a while there in the 40s, Disney was just helping out the government. Like, here you go.
Sure.
And that's one of the things they did. The ad got so much attention with Bambi in it that they're like, we need more of this stuff. We need our own character. So the council, War Advertising Council, which was a thing because we had wars, they said we need our own character, and they come up with Smokey the Bear.
Okay.
He's going to be our mascot of preventing this sort of stuff.
Did he wear like the hat and everything during that time?
Not at the beginning.
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope, not at the beginning. The first time he shows up is August 1944, and it shows him pouring water on a campfire. And it just, and the slogan or the tagline or whatever was, care will prevent 9 out of 10 fires.
Very true.
Which, like, if, you're out camping or whatever, I think people did that more than they do now.
Make sure it's out.
Just, dump it out. So 1947 rolls around. World War II is now over. They add the only you can prevent forest fires tagline.
Yes.
And that's
only you.
Yes. And now that's what we know, especially you and I of our age. Like, I remember commercials on TV with Smokey.
I had a record. I had a 45.
Really?
That like told a story about a forest fire, and then Smokey the Bear was like the narrator, and then only you can prevent forest fires.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How did you get that? Do you even remember?
I don't remember. It was scary though. Like I remember being like I was young,
scared,
like younger than Oscar probably, and I remember being scared. Like you could hear the fire in the background, like the crackling, and scared.
I remember in the 80s getting a record in the newspaper, and it was the McDonald's one. Special sauce, whatever that was. That was like the whole jingle.
The to all beef patty special sauce,
yeah.
lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
That one. I got that record in a newspaper.
That was
it.
Don't look surprised. That's a song.
No wonder you're in marketing.
I know.
Okay, so he was known as Smokey Bear.
Okay.
From 1944 until 1952. The council, the War Council, gives over the advertising to like the national parks. service or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's still a U.S. government agency, just a different one. And they're kind of in charge of it now. And they want to pump up his numbers. Those are rookie numbers. They want more listens. They want more likes, clicks. Subscribes, whatever they say. Like and click, subscribe.
Click subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit the thumbs up. Mash the thumbs up.
Mash the thumbs up. Heart it. 1952, they go to the famous Steve Nelson and Jack Rollins. Songwriters.
Okay.
Those guys wrote the Frosty the Snowman song.
Oh.
And they write a Smokey the Bear song.
And now for my song. It's called Smokey the Bear. With the ranger's hat and shovel and a pair of dungarees, you will find him in the forest always sniffing at the breeze. People stop and pay attention when he tells them to beware, 'cause everybody knows that he's the fire-preventing bear. Smokey the Bear, Smokey the Bear, prowling and a-growling and a-sniffing the air. He can find a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they call him Smokey. That was how he got his name.
It was called Smokey Bear, but they added the
Forest fires. I don't even know. I'm just making that up.
They added the. So it was Smokey Bear.
Probably because they needed it for the song.
To improve the rhythm,
Yes.
they added the. 1964. Unlike nowadays, where everything's like email, this guy, Smokey, was getting letters. Like Santa.
Oh, sure. Okay.
He was getting so many that he had to get his own zip code. Because kids were writing into him all the time.
What?
So he has his own zip code still today.
Do we know what it is?
I didn't write it down.
That's weird.
That was bad. That was bad on my part. I should have followed up on that. Ad council. 96% of adults, your age and mine, I don't know about yours, didn't have that number, recognize an image of Smokey.
Dude, they drove that into our heads.
Yes. I could probably draw it.
Yes.
And I can't draw.
I can see. I close my eyes and see him.
He was kind of like cooler than the Hoot the Owl, give a hoot, don't pollute. Remember that one?
Yeah.
They tried that.
Dude, here it is. I've had my own zip code since 1964. You can address the letter to Smokey Bear, Washington, D.C., Smokey Bear, Washington, D.C.,
See?
20252.
There you go.
I want to say I've heard that somewhere,
Wow.
too.
It was maybe on your record.
Maybe.
The one they drove in our head when I was a kid was the fly in the electrical. The fly with the light bulb as a butt, and
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
and he would fly around in
Yeah.
the little electrical thing and sing a song, and I don't even remember what the song was.
You don't mess
Don't-
with electricity. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stick a fork in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Last thing. I am a fan of music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is breaking news to anybody that maybe listens to this,
What?
but I do like music, and I like all kinds of music. And one of my favorite genres of music has come to me in the last, 10 years or so, and it's old country music. Old country music.
Well, Matt Lawhorn was just in before we started
he
this.
was.
That's his jam, too.
So there was a song I've heard a few times, and it ties in pretty great with not only what we just talked about, but what we're doing here.
Okay.
It's called Smokey the Bar
Whoa.
by Hank Thompson and the Brazos Valley Boys.
Okay.
1969.
Smokey the bar, lights dimly glow. It's good that way, 'cause heartaches don't show. Each hand holds a glass, each glass holds a beer. Jukebox records play mid sorrow and cheer.
It was an album, it was a title track. So he's lamenting a lost love, and he's at the old watering hole, the saloon, if you will,
Yeah.
putting money in the jukebox. And the bar's so smoky, can't see very good.
Right.
And it's just called Smokey the Bar.
Smokey the bar. Somehow I have a feeling, Dolan, we're gonna get a copyright violation on this
Yeah,
episode.
I'm already thinking
There you
about last
So-
episode too, maybe. So
Maybe.
So
5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds of Smokey
Yeah.
the bar, maybe.
just give us old Hank Thompson. Now, in my world, there's 3 Hanks.
Hank Williams Jr.,
No.
Hank Williams Sr.,
Yes.
Hank Hill.
Nope. Hank Thompson
Okay.
and Hank Snow. Those are 1960s country musicians named Hank.
Okay.
Those are my three. Those are the Trinity.
I mean, Hank Hill. You gotta.
yeah. I guess I'll go. I'll say my 60s.
Okay.
1960s time frame. Here's the track list. You can buy this record on Amazon right now. $22.
Okay.
It came out May 17th, so almost now. 1969.
69. Okay.
Track listing. Smokey the Bear. Side 1. Track 1. That's the hit.
Okay.
Ace in the Hole. Let's Get Drunk and Be Somebody.
That sounds
country
like a
song, right?
That sounds like a song I'd listen to.
New Records on the Jukebox. Okay.
Okay.
My Rough and Rowdy Ways. Here's a song maybe you've heard before, but not by him. Cocaine Blues.
Yes.
Johnny Cash made that.
Oh my goodness.
I See Them Everywhere. That's side 2.
Okay.
Drunkard's Blues. Okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
What's Made Milwaukee Famous. You ever heard that one?
No.
Has Made a Fool Out of Me. It's about drinking too much beer.
Oh.
Girl of the Night. That's okay.
Okay.
Bright Lights and Blonde-Haired Women.
Okay.
And the last song's called Pop a Top, which is about drinking beer in your car,
Oh.
which you could do in the 1960s.
You could totally do that, right? I mean,
Not
back
so
in
much
the day, not anymore.
anymore.
No.
But so I wrote those down because they were, they felt familiar to this sort of podcast.
What's the name of this album again?
Smokey the Bear
Okay.
by Hank Thompson and
I'm
the
gonna
Brazos Valley Boys from
I'm gonna
Texas.
look it up. Yeah,
He's got
a lot of those titles kind of speak to me. So,
Yep,
yeah.
that's what I got for us.
All right. Never thought we'd go there, but
I didn't either until I saw Smokey the Bear, and it just clicked in my brain.
If you had only known that the name of the beer was Minnator,
Then I would have done Minotaur research.
If
probably.
I had put that on,
you might have.
the Teams chat. I don't think I did.
You might
actually.
have, but
I don't think I did.
I thought it was interesting because Smokey the Bear is the beer's name, and I researched Smokey the Bear and Smokey the Bar, so not Smokey any beer or anything like that. It was, yeah, that's how my brain works.
All right, so TripAdvisor, 4.5 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 on 23 reviews total. I only found one bad one.
Okay.
Only one. And these kind of match some of the... I just want to keep making fun of these people.
Okay.
It matches some of the ones we've had recently.
Sure.
Here. So 1 year ago today. So we're still fairly deep in the pandemic, right?
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
1 year ago today, Andrew Hilby.
Okay.
I actually read it as Hillbilly, but then it's Hilby.
Well,
He wrote, I would give no stars, but they don't allow that on Google. So this is a Google review, not on... I'm sorry. I went to Google instead of TripAdvisor. I would give no stars, but they don't allow that on Google. If you want to be a sheep, this place is the way to go. Bah. This is actually what he wrote. Bah. B-A-H-A-A-A-A-A-A-A.
oh boy.
Response from the owners.
Oh, they wrote back.
Even better.
Okay, I like these.
Even better. Andrew, we appreciate your attempt to visit. As a business, we make it a priority to follow health code and other rules to ensure our staff and customers are not being put at risk. Have a good day.
We like your attempt at visiting.
So
they wouldn't let him in, and
he didn't want to wear a mask probably, and they said, "Sorry, pal, got to wear a mask." Well, you're sheep.
Oh my gosh!
Look at my "Don't Tread on Me" flag as I drive away.
Lions, not sheep. Yeah. That's the slogan.
Whatever.
Boo.
What you mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
There you go. Untapped, 738 check-ins for a canned beer. I'm surprised. Now, maybe there's no distribution on it. Maybe he had to get it up there. And I mean, Jim said he got it from Minnesota. So yeah. So 738 check-ins. Where do you think we land on Minnator Dopplebock?
That's tough. That's a small
372.
I'm gonna say 4.12.
393.
Wow.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Right in the
Splitsville.
middle. Yep.
Huh.
Pretty good. I mean,
I like that.
7.8%. That'll do the job.
I like that too.
Uh-huh.
I like these episodes because it's like I probably wouldn't reach for that in my fridge unless it was a certain time of the year.
No.
But it was a very happy, accident, if you will. Like, I'm glad we had that.
That was Jim's thing was, and I don't know, I'm not sure what kind of beers he likes.
Yeah.
But he was like, I don't know if I want this, and that's why he gave it to me. Like,
too dark, maybe.
I'll drink anything. Okay. Except for a smoked beer, I guess.
Yes,
That's,
Smokey the Beer.
Yeah.
Not for rich.
Yeah. We're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.